Am I the a-hole for interrupting my son's date so he could pick up his little sister? I'm a single father, 43M, to 2 children, Max, 17M, and Liza, 8F. I usually have Liza in after-school clubs so that I'm able to pick her up after work. However, last evening I was given some work that had me working overtime. I did try my best to negotiate out of it, but my manager told me that the assignment was to be completed by that night, so I just did. It was nearing towards 6 p.m. and I just knew I wouldn't be able to make it to Liza, so I called Max and asked him to pick her up. He responded by saying that he couldn't because he was on a date with his GF for their 6-month anniversary. I told him that I understood, but that I really needed him to get Liza and that I'd make it up to him for interrupting. He just angrily turned off the phone, and I thought that while he was mad he had just decided to pick her up. 30 minutes later I receive a call from Liza's school on where I was because the school was close to closing down and no one was there. Luckily, one of Liza's friends' mother said they'd drop her off and that was all good. However, I don't really like it when Liza goes with that particular friend, not because of the friend but because of the mother. She has this habit of asking maths questions in the car that she knows Liza is unable to answer and then criticizes her over it. It's all just very mean. I called Max and asked him where he was and that he was in big trouble when he got home. He just told me that he was busy and to leave him the hell alone. He came home at around 9 p.m. I told him he was grounded and that he was not allowed to use the car for a good 3 weeks. At that he got all mad and said that it wasn't his fault I was failing as a parent and unable to afford someone to collect Liza. Just want some insight on this situation. Was I being too harsh on Aida for interrupting his date? Edit. This is the 3rd time I've asked Max to pick up his sister in the span of a year and a half. Some people are asking why I don't have a nanny. Money is tight. Max and Liza's mother is not present in their lives, and no, I did not think of socializing myself with the parents at Liza's school. I am at work most times, so I haven't found time outside of the yearly parent meetings. Please refrain from insulting my son. Update: am I the a-hole for interrupting my son's date so he could pick up his little sister? Hello all. Thank you very much for the comments left on my post. Spent a good hour going through threads and seeing what everyone had to say. Reading the comments made me realize that I had been quite soft with Max's upbringing, which made him feel comfortable speaking to me the way he did that night. I also have to admit that I have spoiled him, handing him everything he asks for. Probably because I don't want him to feel like he lacks all the things his peers have because he doesn't have his mother in his life. Not really the best reasoning. I had a discussion with Max about what happened a few days ago while Liza was away. He did try his best to have his grounding removed and car privileges back, but I stayed firm and that kind of shocked him. He's used to getting his way, but he understood he was in the wrong. Max did get quite emotional during the conversation and apologized for his behavior. That night and before, he knew that while he was too late to fix his past mistakes, he'd make sure not to repeat them. He even offered to pick Liza on days when he didn't have soccer training or plans. After many comments advising me to do so, I made an anonymous complaint to HR about my manager's tendency to bring up last-minute tasks. Apparently a few other people in my department have also had this happen but were unafraid of saying anything in fear of losing their jobs. From what HR has emailed us, it's currently being dealt with. I was embarrassingly unable to say anything to Liza's friend's mother except for giving her a few dirty looks while she wasn't looking. There were many comments questioning what I would do in the case this happened again, and right now it's Max. We've had a mutual agreement and he's understood that he needs to also help out in the family. The situation isn't ideal, but we're making it work. Once again, thank you all very much for the comments advice given.